Welcome to Cardano Chats. Very excited today to have Sean with GeroWallet on the show. And this is brought to you by Grow Your Stake, which is our mission-driven stake pool. You can find more about that at growyourstake.com. But Sean, welcome to the show, man. Glad to have you on.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is I'm pretty excited. Your project, when it was first introduced to me by CardStarter, was one of the ones that I'm most excited about. I love what you guys are doing, and I'm excited to learn more about that on the show today. But before we get into that, just if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and how'd you get into crypto?
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, I just want to say I love the excitement. Thank you for expressing that, and also I think just to relay that back to you. I love the things that you're doing to grow your stake, and a few other things that we may be talking about today. So, awesome. Thanks, Josh. You're a great guy.
Yeah,
so about me, I'm Sean Roller. So I have a background in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in human factors. And so my expertise is in humans, in psychology. I'm very interested in knowing and learning how humans interact, and I think that translates into technology. And so I'm also an avid gamer, and so I was very interested in gaming and applying psychology and gaming together. They're very intertwined, and so I followed into UX research, and so that's how I found myself into the tech industry. In the human factors program, I was very closely connected with aeronautics, and so found myself working at NASA, and then eventually to Google Stadia, where I worked on gaming, and then onto Facebook as well. That's where I'm at now. So I do UX research there as a contractor, and I've been in the crypto world for a while now, and so I see kind of the gaps in the UX experience there. So that's how I see myself applying myself to blockchain and crypto.
Yeah, definitely some huge gaps there.
Yeah.
You think about some of the, I don't know how much you've done in yield farming or any of the DeFi space, but through a lot of the Ethereum-based apps, I've done some yield farming, and the experience there is just so, when you're getting started, it's so challenging that you end up spending way too many needless hours learning. But
absolutely. Yes, I definitely know the frustrations are there. I can see it in Discords and the Telegrams. People come in and they're like, why am I spending this much money? What's going on? I don't understand. So definitely there's huge gaps, especially in DeFi. It's very early. So it kind of makes sense. I think, as far as like blockchain and crypto goes, the only UX teams that I really know of, like solid UX teams, are Coinbase. And if you consider PayPal and Robinhood part of crypto, those companies have UX teams, but I don't know of anybody else that has UX research as part of their team. So I think that's what our angle will be, and like that's what we're going to be doing different at GeroWallet.
Yeah, that's great. I'd love to talk more about that for sure. Well, tell us a little bit about how GeroWallet got started. What is it, and what do we need to know?
Yeah, so I think it actually kind of derives in that gap in user experience. And so I'm friends with Panos, and so we were always kind of interested in crypto. I got him into it, actually. I started him on a VeChain back in the day, a few years back. And then, so we just want to get involved. We always wanted to get involved in blockchain. And so we saw this as an opening, and like Panos is friends with the CardStarter team and stuff like that. And so we were just talking, and it kind of developed. And then, we started GeroWallet, and, we wanted to solve problems. Mainly, I'm coming from a very UX angled experience or point of view, I guess. And Panos is more of like media and community. So he's very much about he wants to grow a strong community, and, he loves interacting with people.
Right. Very cool. That's exciting. VeChain's a great project too. What made you guys choose Cardano?
Yeah, so I mean, right off the bat, Cardano, the fees. There's an opportunity there. Proof of stake, and but what I like about Cardano is actually kind of intertwined with my background. So with psychological research, I love research, and a strong component of research is peer review. And that's something that Cardano has a strong backing behind, is that there's articles out there, it gets peer review. It's it's kind of a collection of individuals working together to make blockchain better. And I think that's what stands out compared to other blockchains and other projects, is that it's like built from the ground up, and it's all peer reviewed, and it's all going in the right direction. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, very, very cool. I agree, man. So many good things there. I think one of the most underestimated aspects of Cardano might be the community, though. I mean, through the way Charles has led, through some of the way the other developers have led, and other community voices, there seems to be a culture of research and really looking thoroughly into things. And so I think he's kind of attracted a very intellectual kind of community and a creative community, and additionally some goodwill in the community with just the mission of Cardano being bringing the economic identity to the billions of people that lack it. So there's a very cool culture that's developed, and you guys, I think you have a tremendous advantage of having that community, behind you and around, supporting this project at such an early stage. I think it's going to be powerful for what you're doing, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
What's the status of GeroWallet? What do you guys? Well, actually, I don't know if you really got too much into what GeroWallet is exactly, but yeah, if you could go into what it is and where you guys are at right now, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I guess I see GeroWallet as phases. So the first phase is going to be the Cardano wallet. And so we come out with the beta this week or the next week, whenever this airs here, but it's going to be very soon around when this airs. So the first step is just going to be that Cardano wallet. So you're going to be able to send and receive Cardano. Eventually, we're going to be able to display Cardano native tokens within the wallet. And so we're just going to be evolving with like the potential of Cardano. So there's going to be staking. Eventually, we're going to go into a larger phase with more DeFi solutions. So there's going to be like yield farming and, even like NFTs, and we'll be doing a lot of other things that are very DeFi related. It's going to be, we're going to get to a certain point that we're going to be asking the users, what do you guys want? What do you want applied to this? And then it's going to be an all-in-one solution. So eventually you're going to be able to purchase your crypto on GeroWallet. You're going to be able to transfer it, if you want to do trades, do swapping, you're going to be able to do that within GeroWallet. And then do your expert DeFi things that you want to do. If you want to do derivatives and synthetics, we're going to have that possible if you want to do that. So basically, we want to be able to provide everything all in one spot instead of like purchasing on Coinbase and then sending it to MetaMask and then Uniswap. And you're paying tons of fees, and it takes time. Every time you send across Ethereum, it's you got to wait at least like 5 minutes or something. You don't know if it's going to go through. And so, along with Cardano being part of GeroWallet, like we're using that blockchain, a lot of that stuff is going to be eliminated, and it's going to be a very smooth process to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's really cool. So some of the main things I heard in there have been incredibly needed. I've myself experienced so much of this just with not just myself and my own training and what I'm doing, but having to then coach family members or friends on how to get set up on Coinbase or Voyager app, and then move their funds over to Binance.us or move their funds over to MetaMask so that they could do a DeFi transaction or whatever it may be. For a while, it was just getting Cardano, like telling people how to get Cardano. They couldn't get it on Coinbase, right? So it was telling them how to get it by moving it over to Binance.us at one point, and even before that was available there, it was telling them even more complicated ways of obtaining it. So it was kind of a pain. And the fiat on off ramp that you slightly alluded to there, I think that's incredibly important. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? I know you probably can't mention the actual partner just yet, but what can you tell us about that? Because that's huge.
Yeah, so we're working with a partner right now for a fiat on and off ramp. So it's virtually going to happen. We just haven't completed the agreement, so we can't say who. But very, very soon, you're going to be able to purchase Cardano on GeroWallet. We're hoping to get it in for the beta. That's the plan. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. So that's huge because that's coming up very soon. Can you tell us the beta date?
Yeah. So right now it's going to be penciled in for Thursday. Thursday of this week. So if everything goes good, then people are going to have access by the end of Thursday.
Dude, that's huge. Congrats on that. Very, very cool. So what all will we see on the beta version of the app?
So what's planned is the fiat on-ramp. So you're going to be able to purchase Cardano and add it to your wallet. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty basic Cardano wallet. You're going to be able to send Cardano to other wallets, or to whoever you want to, receive Cardano as well. And so for the time being, we just want to get this out for the beta, get it in people's hands. Just going to be Cardano, and then we're going to start applying other features like native tokens. We'll be able to display them. Of course, you'll be able to send your native tokens to when the smart contracts come out, you'll be able to, I guess by the time smart contracts come out, we'll be ready to display those, but also, getting into staking and delegating as well. So those things will be coming up very soon.
Very good. Very good. That's awesome, man. So you mentioned a little bit, well, actually, I want to there's so much you've already said that I want to get into. Staking to delegating, definitely want to get into that in a bit. But also you talked about user feedback driving some of your decision making. Is there ever going to be a governance or a decentralized decision making within Gero, or how's that going to work?
Yes, absolutely. That's definitely going to be an aspect of the token. We're going to have delegation or governance. Governance of GeroWallet. So I think eventually, once we get more involved and get more features out there and stuff like that, we can start focusing on governance. That's really what's important about decentralized finance. So absolutely, we're going to be incorporating that. And I'm not sure what will be proposed, but we'll be looking at the amount of fees that are going to be charged and other decisions that are going to be made on GeroWallet. I guess especially what kind of features are going to be provided. We're going to get that information from several means. UX research and feedback, and even beta feedback and stuff like that. So, but especially in those proposals, that would be great.
Yeah, that's huge. User feedback in this community will help you really refine this and drive it to where it needs to be, without a doubt, I would imagine. That's great. That's good that that's in the plan. So back to the staking and delegating part, tell me a little bit about how that's going to work. So for example, liquid finance, I know that that's one project that I want to stake with. Is that going to be an opportunity to do that within the Cardano wallet or the Gero wallet that you have created? Or is it going to be staking your ADA that's going to be an opportunity? Is that exactly which direction are you going with that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I don't think we're quite to that point that I can really answer that 100%, but if the users want it, then you're going to be able to do it. Pretty much that's what's going to happen. So, but I would say what you could expect from the start is like normal delegation that exists on other wallets out there. Depending on what the users want, whatever's priority to them, we can prioritize it internally as well. So, and liquid finance, that's a great thing to bring up. I've reached out to Dwayne and stuff like that, and I think we could possibly be working in the future. But there's conversations that need to go on there. So, but I'm very excited about Liquid and what Dwayne's doing. So, it would be great to work with him in the future.
Yeah, very cool, man. That's awesome. I'd love to see something like that. So definitely, you have staking ADA in the works, or delegating your Okay.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Love it. Well, how do you differentiate yourself from other wallets out there? I know you talked about it a little bit, but like, just for example, there's a MetaMask. Somebody could compare you guys to a MetaMask. I think that would be a weak comparison considering everything you have in your vision, right? And the fiat on and off ramp. So there's so much more that you're doing, but how would you compare yourself to that or to other Cardano based wallets out there? What's your primary differentiators?
Yeah, so I think you can kind of compare and contrast a few wallets that exist out there. And then I think what's really important is to consider us in phases. So like the early phase, there are going to be a lot of comparisons with MetaMask, but as we evolve, especially with the Cardano smart contracts, like the longer, GeroWallet is growing, the farther we're going to get away from other comparisons. And so I think early on, you could compare us to MetaMask in a way, like we're going to be an extension, but then we're going to evolve into a mobile wallet. And then that's where, about the same time, I expect that we'll be doing a lot of other features, like actually having the DeFi features that you want to use within the web application. That's something that MetaMask doesn't have. And so, early on, you can compare us to other Cardano wallets, but eventually we're going to be evolving. And then that's where you'll really see us separate with like the all-in-one application, at your fingertips to do everything. You won't need the other things if you don't want to.
Yeah, that's great, man. Very cool. So, decentralized exchanges, you guys have that. I mean, that's obviously fairly needed as part of your strategy. How's that going to work, or how's that strategy unfold for you?
Yeah, so definitely that's going to be a huge part of GeroWallet, and moving closer to smart contracts. We're hoping to integrate with DEXs. That's the plan right now, or decentralized exchanges. And so, we're in talks with some of the top DEXs right now. So that's the plan moving forward. I can't mention them unfortunately yet, but we will very soon. So the plans with GeroWallet is kind of to display the DEXs within the UI, and it's going to be kind of an aggregator. So you can, whatever one may have like a cheaper fee or something like that, or your preference, maybe your preference just on a certain day, or maybe a certain DEX only has a token compared to another one. Like, you will have that flexibility to be able to choose the DEX that you want in that day, but all within, the GeroWallet with UI. You don't necessarily have to go to one of the other DEXs.
That's pretty cool. So would that be like a setting in the back end of the app that once you set the primary exchange you want to use, it's automatically done? Or is that going to be more like each time you do a transaction, you select your exchange and then go from there?
Yeah, there's going to be a few things that it can be displayed. I guess it can be an aggregator based on fees. So, whatever you want is the cheapest. It can give like a rundown based on, fees, but then also can give you the option to just click and say, hey, I want to go through this DEX. That's my preference.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the use cases? Like, what a primary use case, just give us an example of how somebody might use GeroWallet. Walk us through that process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right now with the beta, you're going to be able to send your Cardano. So if you already have Cardano in a wallet, you can send it to your new GeroWallet. And then also the GeroWallet is going to be compatible with other Cardano wallets. So there's going to be like Yoroi and Daedalus and stuff like that. So if you already have a wallet created, you can transfer it to GeroWallet or vice versa. So you're going to be able to send and receive your Cardano to any wallet you want to. And then also with the beta, we're going to have the use case of being able to purchase Cardano with your bank account or credit card. That's the plans for the beta anyway. So
okay. What about other native tokens?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you create a wallet, you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to send those native tokens technically, if you wanted to, but they just won't be displayed in the GeroWallet. So that's the same thing with NFTs. Like, we won't be able to display them, but if you wanted to send it to the address, it'll be there in the background, and you can go to like Cardano Scan or something and see them there once the wallet is created. And then eventually, the use cases when smart contracts come out about that time, we're going to be able to display the native tokens, of course, and then also the, eventually NFTs. When we integrate with an NFT partner, we'll be displaying NFTs, or even, earlier than that, we can actually display them, but hoping to integrate with an NFT partner. And then also a lot of these tokens will be bridging, like Charlie and us, of course, will be bridging from Ethereum to Cardano at that time. So then you'll be able to display the Gero token and Charlie, of course, and GeroWallet.
Gotcha. Okay, so very, very good. That's great. Perfect illustration. What about existing partnerships? Where are you guys at with partnerships in GeroWallet? I know I've read about a few of them, but tell us about the rundown there, the landscape, and where you guys are at.
Yeah, so I think we have several good partnerships out there, and we have a ton of partnerships that we're working on the behind the scenes as well. I think that'll just come out with time and develop, and it's part of what's going to make GeroWallet. We're going to be integrating with a lot of projects, and so it's just going to happen. We're going to have tons of great partners. But I think I feel like kind of like our sister partner that we have with Charlie, we kind of launched at similar times. We kind of have like a similar background as far as like the project's timing and growing and stuff like that. So like Damon and I are pretty close, and so Charlie's going to be great for off-chain data and like real-time, real life data, getting any sort of data from like other exchanges, any sort of information that we need, or even like the Internet of Things, like the potential is kind of endless there. So I'm really excited about that one.
Have you been able to see any of what they've developed? I know they've been more public facing with some of their developments lately, which is great. Damon's a great guy. They've got a lot of they've had a lot of challenges with community, and I know that they're showing some of the development, which I think is fantastic. Have you been able to see any of that, or how are you feeling about your needs with that partnership?
I mean, I feel great. It's happening. It's going to happen. They're on Alonzo. I'm familiar of some things that are going on in the back end. I'm not going to speak to it here. I'll leave that to them to discuss. But as smart contracts roll out, things are going to happen. So very excited for that. And yeah, with the community stuff, that they've been challenged with, I think it kind of hit us a little bit too. So it's interesting to see, but we're going to make everything happen. We're just going to keep moving, full steam ahead. And as things develop and the projects and the products are out there, then you can't deny that. So as long as we just keep moving forward, we're going to be fine.
I mean, you look at what Hoskinson's endured with Cardano because of smart contracts and all of the different things, that the phases of launching Shelley and all of the negative feedback he's had along the way. It's I think done nothing but help fire him up to put out there a better product. I think it's charged him, and if the community and negative feedback can charge you guys, then that's great too. Obviously, you don't want it, but the reality is, as long as you're putting a product out there, that's what counts, and putting a safe product out there for people that, and so that's huge. Very, very cool. So other partners, I know you've got a potential game that you're partnering with, Cornucopias.
Yes. Yeah. I would love to chat about that. It's very exciting, with my background in gaming, and, I love gaming myself. I'm just very excited for that. I guess, it'd be great. I think if you want to touch on it, I feel like it'd be more appropriate.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're working on a game called Cornucopias. It's going to be one of the first Cardano-based games, NFT games, and we've got a phenomenal team that we've put together. We're super excited about GeroWallet because one of the things that we want is that there's not this crypto barrier to entry. So somebody that isn't involved in crypto can't figure out how to get onto the game and play and utilize tokens. And so you having this fiat on and off ramp is a big deal to us. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to work with you guys for the game. I think it's huge. I think that's going to open so many doors for you and what you're doing with Giro. So props to you on getting that figured out. I can't wait until you're actually able to announce the partner, but and so we actually get to use that shortly. But yeah, Cornucopias, we're actually going public this week. So when we launch this video, I guess this will be one of the first public mentions of it. But we have a phenomenal team, and that'll be available around Thursday or Friday. Our website and more information on what we're doing, the Giro partnership listing as well. So yeah, we're glad to have you guys involved.
Okay. Yeah, that's very exciting. Is it going to be on Steam? Is that where it's going, or?
The actual game? Yeah. A variety of places. So really early on, we're coding through Unreal Engine, but it's going to eventually be decentralized and hosted on Cardano nodes, and game saves will be on Cardano nodes. We've actually got a really interesting diagram of how that's going to unfold. But yeah, variety of technologies will be used in the stack. And it's pretty exciting, man. We have real game, we've been very focused on actual product development. And so the exciting thing about that is that we're going public facing. We're having to focus on all the things that, are less important, like a website, or not that a website's not important. That's obviously crucial, but we're actually building a game, and the NFT architecture behind all of that, and everything that's coming into fruition slowly, well, actually pretty quickly, is pretty awesome to see. And I can't wait to share some of the videos and stuff with you. But I think you've seen some of it already. But
I have, yeah. The video is actually absolutely amazing. Very, very excited for that. And I'm excited to be able to apply, GeroWallet, and be able to apply a good user experience to that as well, just to make those ends meet. And so it's going to be great to work together just to make sure that user experience is really seamless from the first new user getting started to, all the way through, doing transactions and access to NFTs, and then, of course, the fiat on and off ramps. So
yeah.
It'll be great.
Absolutely, man. Well, I didn't want to derail us too much onto one of my projects, but we're definitely excited to partner with you guys on that, and I think it'll be a fruitful partnership for both sides, hopefully. So hopefully you guys get a ton of new users as a result, and we get easier user onboarding for the game as a result. And so I think there's a lot of cool benefits there. Tell us a little bit more. You mentioned some of your vision for Gero and the DeFi side. So on the website and your roadmap, you've got synthetics mentioned. You've got cross-chain swaps mentioned. I think that's very intriguing. So I think cross-chain swaps, that's going to require, you guys are going to be on Alonzo, right? Or how's that going to work in terms of smart contracts and all of that?
We've submitted our application, so we're somewhere in the running there, and then I think closer to the smart contracts launching that we'll be on testnet and stuff like that. So we're not quite there yet.
Okay, but is a lot of that going to be needed? I'm imagining for some of the futures contracts or cross-chain swaps, things like that. You'll be needing to utilize Alonzo or Plutus, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'll try to answer it as much as I can. So I definitely have like a psychological background. I'm not so much a developer, but
sure.
Yeah. So I mean, we are working on the cross-chain swapping. I think that's actually a huge task. That's what we've learned, and so it's going to be coming out. It's going to be like a next year feature. But I mean, we're working with MLabs right now to help out with Haskell and Plutus and whatever we need to do.
Wait, that's a huge partnership. Yeah, I know I read about that, but that's a huge. I mean, that's a big deal. They're very experienced with Plutus and Cardano based architecture, right? So
absolutely, yeah. And I think what's really important is like they're trusted in the community and stuff like that. So it's not, you don't have to just trust GeroWallet, coming in and creating these smart contracts and stuff like that. You can rely on MLabs as well. So the MLabs, those guys are amazing. So yeah, very excited to be working with them.
Let's see. What else am I not asking that you want to tell us about? What's exciting with the project? What are you most excited about right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I'm really excited just to get this beta out, get it out into people's hands. I know people have really been asking. So I'm excited to get everybody's feedback so we can improve the UI, improve the wallet, improve the experience. So that's what immediately comes to mind for what I'm excited about. I'm trying to think a little bit about further down the line what, maybe what we can talk about and stuff like that. So, nothing major really comes to mind, but I'm just excited about the process. We're going to take, every step, one at a time, make sure everything is done correctly and especially securely and safely. Chris is our cybersecurity expert, and so he's very adamant about making sure that things are very safe. That's one of the decisions we had to make last month, because we had a Cardano wallet, that you could use. You could send and receive Cardano, but we didn't want to put it out until we had this audit, and then just make sure that it is safe and ready to put out to the public. So we have gotten to that point. So we feel like it's going to be okay to put out for a beta and get people's feedback and get it into people's hands.
Yeah, that's great, man. In terms of security, how are you? So Chris is heading that up and making sure that it's secure. Is there going to be a security audit that he's doing with a third-party firm, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, there already has been a third-party audit on the wallet now. Yeah. Okay,
I think I remember something about that, but yeah, that's fantastic. So I think that does give people a lot of comfort. You guys feeling like it's pretty solid and you're ready for beta. So what happens at the launch? I mean, you just get is it a scaled launch? Or you open the beta launch to anyone and everyone, or how's that going to work?
It's going to be kind of like a flip of a switch. We won't really have that much control over scaling. So that is something we discussed, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's a better question for Chris to answer. But yeah, we won't necessarily be scaling it, but we're kind of just going to flip the switch. Like, hey guys, it's out there. It's out there on the Chrome store. You can get it on Brave or Chrome, whatever you prefer. Check it out. Give some feedback.
Okay, so it'll be a desktop client then, and then eventually you'll have a mobile app, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, so just for the beta, it's only going to be the browser version, just the browser extension, and then eventually we'll have a mobile wallet as well.
Okay, very good. Oh yeah. What about funding, man? Are you guys? I know you did something with Cardstarter, and you've got the token out there, but how are you sitting in terms of funds raised and for ongoing sustainability of the project?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the IDO with Cardstarter helped out a lot. Definitely kind of solidifies that we will have funding through the next 12 to 18 months. That's kind of how we have things planned right now. But as we're rolling out these other features, especially like fiat on and off ramps, stuff like that, swapping, stuff like that, we will be collecting fees. And so that's kind of like the long term, that kind of solidifies the longevity of GeroWallet and just making sure that we have revenue and we can maintain the platform and everybody, all the workers are getting paid and everything like that. So, short term, we're covered. And long term, as long as Cardano is around, we're covered as well. So, I feel really good about it.
Yeah, that's great, man. Well, I don't think Cardano is going anywhere, so that's a good thing.
No way, no, not at all.
You guys are about to launch. Aside from launch-based challenges, and I mean launch with a beta, but aside from those challenges, what are the challenges you're currently experiencing, or in terms of Giro, going to market, and how's everything going? How are you solving those?
Sorry, just thinking here. I guess as far as challenges go, they come as they want to. So we're kind of just getting hit with smaller challenges here and there. Just smaller things you have to solve. Like we kind of had to put the website on the back burner a little bit just so we can focus on the wallet and get it out to people. But the challenges, I think, is getting everything done that we want to do. We have to prioritize things and figure out what's more important to users, what's good for us, and just kind of put it on a roadmap and make sure that we set a straight course and get everything done, sure. As well as good as we can. So I think that's the challenge. It's like there's so much that we want to do, so many partners we want to talk to. There's not enough time. So that's really like what's holding us back. Yeah.
And what's the size of your current team? Where are you guys at in terms of team size and development? The development side is especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have, the core team is 5 individuals right now, Ife and Costas and Chris and Panos and I. Mm-hmm. And then, we have advisors, we have Atash and Ashwin and Brandon, of course. Mm-hmm. And then we have, we have individuals that hang out or help out with the media side of things, content creation, and then a dev team. So Costas has a team of at least 4 devs right now that we work with, and then we also have a front-end developer, and definitely other individuals that help out in the odds and ends as well right now. The admin team, shout out to them as well. They're doing a great job in Telegram and helping out elsewhere as well. So
that's great.
It probably becomes about like 20, 30 people if you really think about it. That's really helping make GeroWallet become a real thing.
That's awesome, man. In terms of M Labs, what value are they bringing more specifically? Because I know that's a partner, but that's kind of an extension of a team, if you would. What are they adding?
Yeah, they're adding a ton of value. They're going to make sure that these smart contracts are being done correctly, and that we're going to be ready to roll these out when the smart contracts happen on Cardano, as soon as we can, right? So when things are ready, then we're going to progress in that area. And then
that's also huge. So you're getting, without having to build it internally, you're getting Plutus and smart contracts expertise through M Labs, mm-hmm. which is a major deal.
Absolutely, and we also have developer in the Plutus Pioneer program, and then individuals learning Haskell as well. So, we're really kind of covered there. And, we're in talks with M Labs and creating the smart contracts right now. So everything, it's going to be great.
Well, that's huge, man. I can't wait for your launch and to try it out. It's very exciting. Any final words for us?
I guess for everybody, thank you so much for the support. We had an explosive launch, and just thank you for everyone for backing us, and just, I love the feedback, and just really excited to get everything out there, and then get some actual user research, get some actual data, and apply it to GeroWallet. So thank you to everyone. Thank you, Josh, as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This has been fun.
For everything. Fun.
Yeah, and you know what? Just as a quick note, we'll include any links, any information in the description of the video, so that people can find you and contact or follow you guys and stay up to date with what you're doing. And then one final question, and we'll take off. Regarding our coalition that Damon and I, put together, Damon of Charlie 3, and we put that coalition together to help grow your stake and ultimately benefit drop for drop. What interested you about that project? We're very thankful, by the way, for your support in the coalition and for staking with us. But what made you interested in participating?
Yeah. So, I mean, what made me interested? Everything, as soon as you brought it up to me, or Damon brought it up to me, I was all for it. And so I think it's a great cause. It's about what Cardano is about. It's about what blockchain is about. It's about, balancing the world in a way. So, there's individuals that are in like lower social economic areas and stuff like that. They just aren't as privileged as, like myself, I guess. I was lucky enough to be born in the United States. And so I was able just to go walk to the kitchen and turn my faucet on and get a drink of water. But other individuals, they have to walk for miles to get water, drinking water. So I think that's it's very impactful to learn that. And so anything that if we can help in that area, that would be great. And just kind of cliche, but make the world a better place. Make it more balanced, make it more even.
Yeah, man. Yeah, huge. Well, very grateful to have you supporting that project. As mentioned, we've drilled wells. We've already impacted hundreds of lives through building our first well, and the second one is in motion. So it's very exciting, and we're grateful to have you supporting through the coalition and everything that we're doing there. So yeah, thanks again. Thanks for joining the Cardano Chat show. Glad to have you on. Wish you guys the best of success, and definitely we'll be sending people your way through the YouTube links, etc. And look forward to talking with you soon on our next developments with Cornucopias, the game, and what we're doing there. But everybody, be sure to check out GeroWallet. Thanks, Sean. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Josh. It's always great to talk to you. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you again.
You as well.